Welcome back. Seeing some of the negative reception to the new league, I waited to see if they were going to release a patch before doing a follow-up video, and sure enough they released one. So if you quit before last Wednesday, I'd urge you to give it another try. Playing it for the last few days, the monsters don't seem to slap down as hard. Anyways, on to the changes. Corpses can now be itemized right away and for free. When interacting with the Undertaker, you can see your list of corpses, and to the left of them are two buttons. The top one will cremate and destroy the corpse, and the bottom will itemize the corpse, putting it in a coffin and in your inventory. When prompted to collect the corpse, the itemize button will be in the bottom left corner, so you can itemize the ones you don't want and then drop them if the UI is in the way of your loot. If your morgue is full, the Undertaker will tell you,
"Dead man's locker is overflowing. Time to make some tough choices."
Talk to him and you can see the list of bodies you have, which will let you itemize or destroy them, even while in a map. Holding control while clicking the cremate button will remove the confirmation prompt, letting you destroy unwanted corpses quickly. On the topic of faster shortcuts, Control F with your corpse list open will move you to the filter bar for faster searching, made even better by them sorting the list of corpses by mods, and then by level. And corpse crafting got even easier. Now you can choose the base type of the item you're trying to craft, with the exception of Atlas and League bases like the ones shown here. These ones you'll still need a special corpse for. Most of the common increased chance modifiers have had their tiers removed, so you'll see more 500% increased chance for X modifiers. They removed the plus X to Y type modifier corpses and instead merged them into one flat plus X to modifiers. So now you won't have to collect so many different ones, and if you get an unwanted modifier, at least it too will be a higher tier. Socket links and additional item chances have had their values doubled, while split and mirror chances have had theirs moved from 20% chance to 25%. Those of you still scared of the graveyard crafting, I'd urge you to check out Craft of Exile. You can select the item you're trying to make and select Graveyard for the crafting method. Then you can use Compute Best Selection or Quick Suggest and it will give you the values of the total corpses that should be buried. Two things to keep in mind is this is calculated based on you filling your entire graveyard. If you don't have the investment, you can pick values that you do have and have it generate some samples of what could come out of it. The other thing to keep in mind is this doesn't show the item level, so some mods could be blocked out by item level, so be aware of the corpse level you're using. While using a lower corpse level doesn't set the resulting item to that level, it definitely decreases it, which you can see in the book after selecting the item you want to craft. The lantern has also changed, as it will now show you how mod changes affect corpse and Allflame drops, which do increase based on the difficulty of the mods chosen. Allflames in general have had their drops increased. Devoted modifiers that convert items to the strongest monster is now 100%, so now you can use Allflames of Anarchy for Rogue Exiles or Meat Sacks to make the monster explode into the conversion type. This is different from the chance to drop modifier, which applies to every monster in the pack. This is where people are using Allflames of Frogs or Rats to print currency. Important to note here that when using Allflames, they replace the pack size. The pack size will be displayed on the Allflame itself, and it will inherit the density shown here. Devoted modifier tiers no longer get lowest tier in maps. Atlas tree nodes in the bottom left no longer give increased chance for devoted modifiers, and instead increase devoted mod effects. There was also a change to mods that buff the monsters. The crit strike and crit multi has been significantly lowered. Chance to freeze is no longer 100%, and now is instead 5 to 20% chance. Always stun on hit now just reduces your stun threshold and increases the duration you're stunned. Remove flash charges on death now just doesn't grant you flash charges for killing them. Physical as extra elemental only penetrates 10% elemental resistances. More damage for each monster alive has been removed. Hex and non-damaging ailment reflect has also been removed. All flame monsters from Affliction, Beyond, Breach, and Legion have had their drop rates increased. And due to fishing, the Nameless Seer will be less likely to have high value uniques in areas below level 81 or tier 14 maps. They've also made his minimap icons show from further away. They've added 12 new Allflames to give your maps more monster and loot variety, such as the 4 Syndicate Allflames that provide monsters with Scarab drops. On the topic of Allflames, exiting the lantern screen no longer instantly opens a map, so now you can go get the Allflame of Rats on trade or from your stash if you get that lucky chance for Divine mod. The map device does lock, so you won't be able to further modify it with Scarabs or map crafts. Those of you that have attempted a T17 will be a little happier to learn that you can now modify them with Chaos Orbs. With this, they've also increased their quant and rarity due to the mods still being harder than normal maps. If you've had issues with the Depraved Trinity in the Abomination map, they've reduced its damage and increased the cooldowns. If you're a Divination card hunter, you'll want to stick around. They've moved some of these cards to only be found in T17 maps. The Void is no longer from Shaper, Elder, and Maven, and instead is on all T17s. The Artist and Harmony of Souls are only on Abomination. The Shield Bearer and Wealth and Power are only on Citadel. The Dragon's Heart and the Cheater are only on Fortress. Succor of the Sinless and the Innocent are only on Sanctuary. The Samurai's Eye and Lucky Deck are only on Ziggurat. A few bug fixes to address as Twilight Temple's side bosses being unable to be killed should be fixed. Your Misery, Envy, Scorn, and Dread essences not changing when using a Remnant of Corruption should also be fixed. Minion Leech from Bone Armor should give the full percentage instead of the drastically bugged reduced percentage. And finally, for some last minute tips and discoveries that might be news to you. The campaign change with endgame mechanics added to specific zones seems to stay the same every time, allowing you to interact with it once per character. So alternate characters will be able to interact with it, providing some freshness to alt leveling. Your Allflame levels do matter, so if you're running campaign, use them, because the level gap is even small enough for them to not work between map tiers. The Fear of the Light Atlas node will randomize both Haunted and Devoted modifiers, but will remove you from being able to see the lantern icon in the bottom right, so if you got a Nameless Seer, you won't know until you clear the map or trigger the pack he's on. Twist of Fate on your corrupted maps won't give you the lantern pick option, but you'll still see what was randomly chosen when hovering the icon. This node also appears to not randomize your scarabs. On the topic of scarabs, before using a scarab that modifies specific content, make sure you can guarantee that it will be in that map, either with another scarab that says it will contain the content, a map craft, or having enough chance on your Atlas tree. Those in party play will still have to click to collect the corpse, unlike Bestiary where you each get it if you've been selected. As for corpse crafts, with the unique bodies, if they touch any of your other crafts, you will either have to dig up the unique body or the body touching it, or it won't let you finish the craft. Make sure to check the prices on the corpses, but it looks like majority of the uniques from the corpses are a few chaos, with the exception of any of the Parandus family. Now that corpses can be itemized, we've actually got enough data that PoE Ninja has a category for quick reference of value, and Awaken PoE Trade should now show the value of all flames and corpses. Appreciate you all for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.